Hey guys, welcome to another video, and in this video we'll talk about the arrays in DataWeave. Okay, so arrays are just a list of items. We'll start with the most important methods that we can use while working with arrays. Okay, so first one is filter. Okay, now we talked a lot about this filter function when we were talking about functions in our previous video, but just to recap, so filter is like you'll pass an array, okay, and you'll pass a lambda function and it will return an array filtered based on this lambda function. So one example was when you pass a list of numbers and you're passing a lambda function that checks whether the given argument, whether a given number is odd or not. So it will return an array with only odd numbers in it. Okay, so yeah, so again, like here is an example. Yeah, one good thing to note is that whenever we are passing in arguments, suppose the s is an argument, we can define the type of that argument. So here it is. So s will be string, the argument. This whole function will return a boolean value, whether true or false. Okay, and we have declared a variable movies of type array string, and we have defined some movies here. Okay, and what this function does is the body says that the size of s, the string that is passed in this function, if it's odd it will return true, otherwise false. So we have just said that whichever movie name is odd, the size of whichever movie's name is odd, will return that, and it has returned Titanic. Okay, let's move on to our next method, the map function. Okay, so the map function is primarily used for transforming the data. Okay, now the syntax is very similar to filter. Like we'll use map, we'll pass an array, there will be a lambda function that will return, and it will return a resultant array. But let's see how it works. Okay, let's see with an example. So this is our input. Okay, an array of 1 to 5. We'll say payload, that is this array map, and this is a lambda function. Okay, now what it does is it will take this n, which is like 1 2 3 4, and it will add 1 to it. So the resultant array would be, we'll add 1 to each of these numbers and it will result in this array. So what we understand by this is that it will take in each and every element of that array, and it will perform some logic, whichever logic is defined by this lambda function. So here's an exercise for us. Let's change the output type completely in the above script and output this instead. Okay, so what we can do is we have to return this. So we can just write like we need value, which would be n plus 1, and we need index, which is just this idx. Okay, yeah, here you go. So what we have done is we just said payload map the item and the indexes. This is the like syntax of it. It will at each and every iteration it will store the current element and the index of that element. Okay, let's go to next. This is distinct by. Okay, now distinct by is pretty simple. You just have to like again like payload distinct by whichever argument you want. Okay, here it says that you have to see if only distinct IDs are used. So you can see 2 and 2 are getting repeated, so it just return just one of these. Okay, now yeah, so there is an exercise which says that remove the duplicates from the shopping list variable. You can concatenate the two ID fields into one unique value using the plus plus function. This should be your output without duplicates. So yeah, so we have we have provided the solution. Okay, now the next is the group by. Okay, so group by, as the name says, it's gonna group together some items. Okay, the syntax is like group by. One argument will be our payload array, and second one again would be a lambda function. Now it will return, what it will return is it's going to return an object with a resultant array as well as this r. What is this r? So this r is like the grouping parameter. Okay, so let's see this by an example. So I said that payload group by, what is payload? Payload is this group by even. So is even is like whether a number is even or not. Okay, so whenever the number is not even, it stores it in false. So what is false? False is that resultant r of the function. Okay, so it's gonna store based on that. Okay, whenever we want something like we have to group by true or false. Okay, then we pass the function according to that only. Now here is an exercise for us. Group these calendar events based on the day of the week. So here it is, the day of the week. So what we are going to do is we're going to use this group by for us. So group by, and now we're just going to say what would be the resultant. Okay, so the resultant is the day with at which this event is happening. So I'm just going to say this day of the week. So you see it's sorted like Wednesday these events are happening, Saturday this event is happening, Sunday this event is happening. So whatever you want to have this R, remember that in group by whatever you want to have R, you'll have that here in the body of the lambda function that you're passing. So next is reduce function. So reduce function is like general purpose looping tool in DataWeave, but it comes with uh, a property that is not in the traditional loop in programming. So what is that? So let's see the syntax. The reduce, the array, our original array, and then the lambda function. Okay, now whatever the type lambda function returns, this reduce method will also return that. Okay, now let's see the example. So 1 2 3, there is a payload. Okay, we use reduce n total plus n. Now what is this? Now we all know that n is like the current item. Okay, but usually what we see is here we use the index, but here in reduce it is a total method or an accumulator method. Okay, and the logic says that total plus n is the logic, is the body of that. Now what happens is if we don't define this total, okay, it will automatically take the value of the first element and then it will start performing the logic. So we haven't given any value to total, the total is 1. Now the loop will start from this 2 second element and it will add this 2 plus 1, it will be 3. Now the total becomes 3, then it will go to third element and it says that total, which is 3, and n, which is also 3, it will give us 6. Now let's see an example where we have provided a total value. So you can see there is a total value. Okay, now it will start from 100 plus 1, 101, 101 plus 2, 103, 103 plus 3, it will be 106. Okay, now we have to use this reduce to transform the input array into the object below. So this is our input. Okay, okay, now what we have done is so we have to say that whatever the name is, now we have to change the key value pairs, like key would be this name and value would be this ID. Okay, how can we do that? Using a reduce function. So it also says that keep in mind that the concatenation function seen before for strings also works between objects as seen from in the starting example. Okay, okay, so let's see if we have. So you can see it has given us the example of how we can use this plus plus concatenation method, concatenation operator with the objects. So whenever the payload 0 dot name test while developing, that is this dev test while developing. Okay, and plus plus owner is engineering, so you can always count on plus plus to concatenate another value. So when we do this plus plus, we'll get one more value. Okay, so let's see what we can do with this. So first of all, we'll just write payload. Okay, and then I'll write reduce. Now what is the syntax of reduce? It's gonna take n and total, so n and total. Although we don't need this, I don't think we need this at all, but let's see. Yeah, okay, so I'll need an object and dot name, it's dot id plus plus. Let's remove this. It says invalid input. Oh, I'm sorry, so we'll have to use the total. So yeah, total would be this. So I'm just gonna say total plus plus. Let's remove this. just give me a second. Okay, so you have to use this parentheses as well, I think. Yep. And total plus plus. Let's remove this everything from here, and yeah. Okay, so what are we missing? Wait a minute. Okay, that's an empty. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so again, like what we did was we said like total is an empty. So like again we have to use the accumulator thing with the reduce. So what we did is initially we said it's an empty object. Okay, then what we did is, and like every iteration you have to add this object for us. What is that object? It's gonna extract the name as key, and it's gonna extract the id as the value. Okay, yeah. Let's go to the challenge. Okay, so I've already solved the challenge, but let's see what it says. Okay, so here is like the sort of list of events with the date, time, event, and the organizer. Okay, now what does it want? So it says that uh, mm, use the functions you just learned and the concatenation function to work with the payload below so that the missing day of week field is included in each event and only events organized by rows are shown. So what we have to do is first we have to fill this uh, day field, and we have to just sort whether the sort all get all the events that are organized by rows only. Okay, so like out of these functions, which function you think can apply? So we cannot use distinct by. Okay, that makes no sense. We cannot use group by because again, like if we'll use group by, it will say that Phoebe has this event, Ross has this event, Monica has that event, and so on. um, we cannot use map as well because again, like it is for transformation, it is not for filtering it out. So the only function that comes to mind is filter. Okay, now what I did was we just had like filter. Okay, it will get all the events of the rows. Now we can use the map because for each event that is organized by rows we have to fill this day field. Okay, so I've defined this 2 weekday formula that is like this is given by this challenge only. So and I just added this function, and yeah, we were able to get the result that we were supposed to get. Okay, that's it for this video working with arrays. Okay, next video will cover working with objects. Okay, thank you for watching this video.